Welcome to Regatta of Champions 2025 in Limassol, Cyprus at the Famagusta Club. We are commencing the first day of sailing today, and I feel stoked to see this. Ton, what do you say?
Yes, so I'm Tom Turn, and with me I have,
Peter Åkesson.
and we will be the hosts for this event. And we're approaching the start of the first race. It's a little bit more wind than we had previously. So yesterday we had a practice race with almost no wind, and here we can see the sailors getting ready for the first start of the day.
Much better conditions, I would say, today. Today it's absolutely sailable. Yesterday, as you said, Ton, a little bit on the non-windy side, but today I think we will get good racing, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. And it looks like the sailors are doing the final preparations. We can see that we have some uncertainty where to start. The line is quite even. We have sailors trying to line up both at the pin and at the boat, committee side. Okay. What do you think, Peter, today?
I think it's the wind has completely turned around as well, right? So we had 270 degrees yesterday coming in from Limassol. Now it's the wind is coming from the opposite side. So the course have been completely altered. I think they will try a bit in the first race and see where it takes them. A little bit more, around 7 knots now, and in the prognosis in the coming hours, right?
Yeah, and now we're really approaching the start here. We can see that some boats believe here on the committee side. For example, we have Joao Lucena, who's betting everything on the right side together with Johnny Seekamp.
Johnny will try to come in at the late stage and push him out, yeah?
Yeah, personally, I do think that it's a little bit of pin and favor, so these guys are going to have a rough time unless they can tack quickly and go to the right side. Looks like it's a lot less crowded, though, here at the committee.
Yeah,
so...
very spread today. Maybe a bit of crowding up there. They said that they were pushing the line in the test race yesterday. It certainly looks like they're pushing the line today as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like they're already over the line now, so we might see a restart. So we have the U flag, which means you cannot be over the line the last minute, which is now. I mean, now see that we have flag AP because they were probably so much over the line that they had to do a restart.
So they didn't even complete the start, probably, right?
No, they didn't. So we're going to have a restart, and we'll be right back in a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, and we're back again. We have a few minutes left to the start, and we can see that they corrected the starting line a bit. Sailors are doing their preparations. Peter,
Yeah.
shall we present some of the sailors?
Yeah, let's go ahead. We have sailors from all over the world. We really have a broad spread in this R.O.C Elite 45. So these are the countries represented. Should we take them from A to Z, maybe?
Yeah, we have
Argentina comes first.
Yeah, so then we have two sailors. The first one is Thomas Marteo, number 1.
Yeah.
And then we have Francisco Balbuena, who's number 2. And I think we'll go back to the live view so that we don't miss the start, and then we'll continue talking a little bit about sailors. Looks like the line is a little bit more pin end favor this time. You can see they're going really high at the port tack on the pin end. Sailors here at the committee side probably gonna realize this soon, but I think they're in the middle of the preparations to check the line, so they haven't noticed that yet. We can see Mexico 1, George Muniz. He has taken the best spot.
Yeah, Mexico being here for the first time ever at the R.O.C.
Yeah, it seems like he abandoned that spot. Maybe he wants to go to the other side. But when we have these light wind conditions, it's very important to be early to the line because you have very little drift. You can see some other sailors trying to use the drift and come in a little bit later to the line and then sneak up to the spot that Mexico 1, Georgia had before. We can see now Cyprus Alexandros Shilos trying to go up, but it's really hard when you don't have enough speed to go up all the way, but looks like he's succeeding.
A little bit more crowded at the race committee boats this race compared to last, where there were more of a pin and favor. Yeah, do you think the conditions changed, or?
I don't really think it changed. I just think they did a little correction of the starting line, and I think some of the sailors were. I think they are a little bit nervous now, so they're just playing it safe. That's why we see sailors all over the place. But more importantly, we have a little line sag, an under banana being created.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go full on risk on one of the sides if you're unsure you can actually start in the middle. Then of course it's not so easy to see where the line is.
We see Brazil, they're trying to get, I think it's Brazil 1.
Yeah, that's Manuel Berganza.
Trying to gain the favor of the banana.
Yeah, and it's quite a high risk to be early here in the middle because you pull everyone up.
Yeah.
And now you can see he was over the rest, and now he's not anymore. So he has signaled for everyone to come.
And now we have the pin and it's.
Yeah, we're gonna have a line start, I think.
Yeah.
Sadly, but we will be back again.
Yeah.
But actually, let's present the sailors.
Yes,
Continue
let's
with
go
that.
through that now that we have the chance. We just did the Argentine sailors, yeah, and they have qualified to get here, both of them through the South American Championship. Thomas was number 4 and Francisco was number 7 at the South American Championship.
Yeah, so those are great results, and all the sailors that are here qualified in some kind of way to make up the top 45 best sailors in the world.
Absolutely. Going down the list, then we have Brazil.
Yeah, so sailor number 1, we saw him on the line. It was Manuel Braganza. He was very experienced by now, and he was 4th this Worlds.
4th at Worlds, and additionally he's also the South American champion. So
that's quite strong.
Yeah, very strong. Yeah,
one of our favorites for this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then number 2 is Felipe Hutzler.
Felipe was qualified via the Rock Cosmos event in the middle of the summer, in the heat in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, I was there. It was really light conditions and really hot, so you really had to
But
invest.
in towards the end of the event,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
true,
we
that's
got
true.
got some hard wind to sail in as well.
Number 3, we have Thomas Oliveira.
Uh, and Thomas was qualified via the South American Championship as well.
And 4th, we have Joao Lucena.
Lucena, same as him. Thomas de Oliveira was number 6, and Joao Lucena was number 5 overall.
Great. So I think we just heard the start being
Let's see how
5 minutes or 4 minutes.
Let's see how it
We'll
looks.
see where we are.
Lovely conditions here today. At really an improvement. We had very light winds yesterday, and at the fantastic opening ceremony, we had a little bit of drizzling rain actually on the roof. Not much, but cloudy conditions overnight. But today it cleared up really good, and we got the wind that was not actually in the forecast. To the same extent. So a positive development for today.
Yeah, and in the morning we actually saw some stronger winds. Like there was not no wind as yesterday. There was some wind in the morning, so hopefully the trend continues.
Yeah, and for you following, we aim to have the same start every day here with an 11 o'clock start our time. So you have to adjust your clocks to that.
All right.
Okay, let's see if we can get it on the third time's the charm. What do you think?
Yeah, we can really see two groups believing in completely different strategies. We have the Finland group already lining up, even maybe trying to do a port start. Will be really interesting to see what's happening there.
The interesting thing is that we're seeing shifts, right? It's not the same guys and girls that was at committee last time. So they're changing it up in the first race.
Yeah, exactly. So we maybe the wind is shifting a little bit more than is visible here from the drone, and that's why the sailors are changing their minds often.
It looked it looked fairly stable on the forecast yesterday. Much more unpredictable. Today it actually looked like most of the forecasters had the same view.
Yeah,
Which is normally a sign of the forecast being fairly correct.
yeah. But we do have onshore wind, so it should be a little bit more stable than otherwise.
Yeah.
We will see. Yesterday we had a very shifty wind with clear favored sides. We probably have the same today.
If you were stuck on the wrong side, that was the race yesterday. Yeah.
All right. So now we have less than 1 minute. We can see Greece 1, Aegis Angelopoulos, and Cyprus Alexander Shilos here at the boat. They're a little bit too much to the left, so they will leave a gap for other boats to come in. And we will probably see Argentina 1, Thomas, trying to take that gap. Maybe even Briggs Cosman will be able to squeeze in there last second.
He's one of the few that are running exactly the same strategy as last time.
Meanwhile, at the pin, we can see the boats are actually trying to pull off a port start. There's only like a few trying to close that gap, going starboard. The rest are going port. So as things are right now, I really think the pin's gonna pass all these boats here at the boats. It's gonna be a harsh wake-up call, but we will see. For now, Alexander Shilas has a really nice position, a little bit higher than the rest. Briggs didn't really get onto the line, and we can see George really trying to squeeze in last second. So the level here is really high, Peter.
Absolutely.
So
Guys knows how to start.
random stuff at the last second is not recommended in this regatta. We will see now what happens. They're about to accelerate, lining up.
Yeah.
And no one tries to do a port start. So
what type of flag do we have up now for the start? Ton?
yeah, to be honest, I missed that. I think it was a regular U flag.
Ah, okay.
I'm not sure.
Because I'm thinking now they're a little bit
Sure.
towards the black flag, right?
That looks like a clear start. So we will see.
Everyone getting off in a fairly consistent. This will show the level of the race, right? Not many behind. This will not entirely be decided in the start. There will be sailing to be done to decide the winner of this race, I think.
Yeah, we can see here Hong Kong 1, that's Margot Nguyen getting the best start from the boat, but clearly being rolled by the whole left.
Yeah, the pin, and you were right, Ton, once again.
It's very interesting here. If you now have the fortunate right side position, what are you going to do? Are you going to dock everyone, or are you going to go more right and hope for the best? But here in the picture, we have the guys from the left trying to decide, shall I just cash in immediately or make the tack even further out?
Italians there, Colotto, Mangini. We have
the sun is there together with Freya Vintergaard from Denmark, Alexander Forsen, and also Dalton Salamar from the United States on the left side. On the right side, we have Argentina 1, Tomas Mateo, trying to delay the cross, which is probably a wise decision.
Yeah.
But the race is really short. No, it's not regular.
No, it's not 45 minutes and 2 races per day. This is high intensity. Yeah. Many races planned per day, right? To end up at a decisive amount of races when the week is over. That's the R.O.C format, and we love it. Yeah, and I think a big problem is that normally you can delay a little and then hope for something to happen, but now there's not much time for something to happen. They're already approaching ley line. Yeah. Have to go in. Question is, when do you take the loss if you're on the right side? I actually think it's even better now on the left. It wasn't only better in the start, it's actually also better to be on the left. So I think they're gaining more. How do you see that, Tom? Now I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen it. Can you see it if you try to? No, I tried to keep track of some boats and see how they cross, and also I looked at the wind and the waves. I use the waves in a way to see how strong the wind is. Yeah. Here we have Thomas working the boat. There are some waves now, actually. Yeah, yes. Not flat water anymore. This is the result of steady wind over many hours, yeah, which is positive. Yeah, so maybe we have better wind coming in from the outside. Yeah, hopefully. Alexander Schuyler's here, Briggs, and also Bastian Serrati. So these are the boats on the far right, waiting for something to happen so they can make the tack. George Munoz. Agis Diangelikis, or no, it's actually Agis Christos Angelikos, who is Greece wonder. We can see that the left is gaining even more now. Right, Peter? Is it clear now? I think it's clear for all the viewers now that the left is just gaining and gaining and gaining. So it's really strong here. We have Margot on the right side. She was the leader of the right, and I guess she didn't want to take the loss, so she went more right, which cost her even more. Isan Rohel. Now it's going really fast. Here we have Freya. Guilty, Canada there.
Calberius is it Ines? A little bit blurry now, even for us. So now we'll see the guys who gamble on the left, and I think it could be Ants could be one of them. It looked like
I
he
saw
had that kind of mindset.
one side. It could also be Alexander. There's a Swede there, but I can't see if it's one or two.
So see, some of them overstood the ley line. That is rare in an event as high level as this. But I think because of the difference in pressure, some boats just wanted that extra wind regardless of the consequences to the ley line. Here we have Carl Birgersson.
Thinking good position.
Will Kilty, Canada. These guys in the middle are in a quite okay position as well. We can see here Ernst, he didn't actually go left and right. That probably cost him a lot. But it looks like it's the boats on the far right that are leading barely, and then we have some middle boats that are okay, and then these guys on the right are having a really rough time. And I think there might be more boats even under the camera as well.
Closing in on the mark now.
So we'll see what's happening here. Will Kilty going more to the middle? Bit unsure here. Where the race happening to the race here. I thought that might have been a mark, but maybe it's not.
No.
We will see where the real mark is.
I was also a bit confused about that actually.
So
then we have maybe not an established ley line.
Yeah, I think this was interesting. I think we just had a right shift, so the middle gained back a lot, like a lot, surprisingly much. So now we can see the middle going the strongest. I think the right and the left are now quite even. Janis Sorgius making the attack 3-7, one of the top boats together with Carl Birgersson and also Ernst Åkesson, Alexander Forsen, Alessandro Mengini. These boats are now controlling the race. With Kilty doing really good here. They got that right pressure in the middle of the upwind and is leading. I mean, we don't see the whole fleet, but given from what we've seen, it looked really nice. So that was interesting. There was actually at least one difference in strategy during the upwind. It wasn't just go one side and then
no.
done.
And many actually that took the left actually sailed in and covered covered the whole course in one long tack, right?
Yeah, and it looks like now we can see the wheel mark. There are some other marks here that are very similar.
Yes.
And that also means that they weren't over the ley line, like I said before. They had obviously better understanding of the race course than we did here from the studio.
So a quick switch of drones.
Here we can see a great view. We are around 2,000 meters from land.
Yeah. Makes you want to get out there.
Yeah, and the wind is not bad now.
No. This is perfect conditions.
Especially with some waves, people can start working and show off their skills a little bit more. when it's flat water, it's really hard to be faster than someone else.
Still not, tough conditions, right? But absolutely above light wind, pure light wind conditions.
Yeah. I think this gives everyone a chance, no matter the weight.
Oh, yes.
See the first boats approaching the mark. We're lucky, we will see the top boats rounding here.
Looks to be WSA rounding first. If I caught that, no. We missed a couple of boats there.
Boats, I would be surprised if it isn't Canada with Kitty who's leading. We will see a little later about the other drone going back out. So it looks like Canada 1 leading, followed by Colbierson, who's now changing side. And it's a little bit hard to see who the other ones are. We will try for the next race to bring up the tracking as well so that you can follow it, but you can also follow the tracking yourself on the Metasail website. We are back here and we can see the top 3 coming in. So Colby is on here in second or third place, with Kilty leading by quite a lot. And they're approaching what looks like to be the gate.
That's a
Opening.
decisive lead.
Yeah.
We will have to take the wrong side to lose this one, right? It looked like there was a very strong preference for one of the gates, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see
I
the
think so.
other one.
I didn't see that on Mark, so it's
I
hard to
think
say.
we'll see a lot of
But
roundings
that
here.
is, even so, it looks like Carl is not taking the same one, so maybe
True.
it's not favored.
That's
And there seems to be Magdalena coming in second.
yeah. But now we're not seeing the other gate.
We have on this mark 3-7, Giannis Sorges, followed by Puerto Rico 1, that's Ines Mendes Lameno, Nicolas Papas. Coming in here, Spain 1, Isan Rohel, and Brazil 4 rounding there. That's Oliveira, who's coming next. Looks like it is Georgios Mandilas. This is crazy, Peter.
Yeah.
We should call it sailors. Let's just focus on the guys who are now on the outside of this big blob. It's not easy. So if you
This we will see a lot.
yeah, this is very interesting. And now they are stuck. So now we can see the outside might have paid off because the rest are completely stuck and everyone just runs on the outside. This is actually great sailing. We can see the blob clearing up a bit, but that surely cost them many meters.
Yes.
And as a coach, it breaks my heart to see this. But there's so many new sailors here at the Rock. They're not used to how tight the races are. But I think some of the more experienced ones, they know, like, don't do this because it will cost you so much.
And again, in the mix, you committed for one, and even the experienced sailors will be stuck in that one.
Yeah, of course. And I think this is actually the race course where we have the most spread out fleet. We will see more clear surroundings later today. So here we have some sailors opening on the left. I'm a bit unsure where it's favored. I didn't have an opportunity to see. Peter asked me if I could see, and now in this case, I don't know.
No, I think we saw a shift there, right? Because we had some on the beginning of the downwind that did not round at the beginning of the rounding, right? So we might have seen actually someone gaining on taking different routes on the downwind.
Yeah, could have been. We will soon get an overview of the fleet and see which side paid off. And remember, we basically in the top only had, I think, Carl Bryson going on the right side, opening the right side, while left had all the best sailors in this race. So as soon as we can locate Carl, we will know what happened. Looks like the left is a little bit better, but not clearly much better as before. Still a long way to go, of course. From the drone, it's not easy to see if there are any real pressure differences, to be honest. It's not like when there's offshore wind and you can see these gusts coming down. We also have direct umpiring in this regatta. So that means instead of having protest hearings, you get flags on the water. So the umpire is really working hard to give out penalties to deserving sailors. And because we have some tight sailing, it's a lot of penalties. Here we have the Argentinians. Not really sure where we are with the drone yet. Didn't follow the switch, but possibly on the right side, Peter.
Yeah, we have,
so we can here see Thomas Martillo together with compatriot Francisco Balbuena. And it actually looks like they were middle left after all. Approaching the left side blob. They're probably a little bit down in the field here because we see an umpire looking at both ways, both forwards and backwards. Here we have a zoom out. The left side confirmed. Here we can see some guys already rounding. That's a good lead there. I guess it's Will leading there.
Yeah.
So here we have the mark rounding, the top boats. I think I see Spain and Denmark.
I think it's Denmark. Yeah, it's Carl Birgersson.
Jo, Lucena. Georgios Canavas. Dalton Salamar rounding there. It's not so tight anymore. I think the
the blob created the spread, right? These are the ones who came out in front of or at the start of the blob, right?
Yeah, so around 10 now.
I think this is more like 14, 15 rounding now, yeah.
Okay. Alessandro Mengini. Shreya Krishna, we haven't seen her before in this race. Hunting for a little bit better position. Let's move to the reach.
This is number 2, 3, and 4, I think. So Margot in the middle there.
Yeah, and we have Giannis Sorgios ahead, and can't see which number it is there in the back, but another Greek hunting Margot. Back at the mark rounding, we can see Italy 6 rounding and USA 1. You can see Bastian Serrato for the first time in this race as well. Back to the reach, seems like it's a little bit spread out, not really much fighting going on. Joao Lucena there, Brazil 3. Thomas de Oliveira. Now we are on the downwind here among the top boats. Can't see the leading boats, they're already rounded, but this should be around 5-ish, I think. When you're doing this rounding, it's really important to first get your speed and then you start fixing with your trim and doing other things. It's very common that you immediately want to fix everything and then you're super slow and then you lose a couple of meters. So there's a chance to get a little bit better surf when you go low, or if you make a jibe, you can also get some extra push. See, the sailors aren't really picking a fight with each other because there aren't any blobs.
Pepe, Åkesson, Braganza, Veronesi. Missed one there as well.
That's Mengini now, together with Thomas Martillo. Shreya Krishna coming in, together with Aegis. Briggs. Very easy to recognize with his helmet.
Thorsen. Sean Cum, I think.
Yeah, correct.
Balbuena.
Meanwhile, we have Will here having the time of his life, I think.
Yeah, I think
Not really.
it's not working the boat.
I think it's like can only lose by getting a yellow flag or something now. Yes,
Yeah.
ride it out and collect the victory. But here, the really important thing here, I think, at the Rock is that you normally get a much worse positions than you used to. So if you're like always top 10, you think you come here, you're always going to be top 10. No, not happening.
No,
So
no.
even when you're bad, you really need to do your best so that you collect those.
And every
points.
position will count, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so many races as well. So you'll be counting some high numbers in the final tally. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Lilu rounding, Alexandros. I don't know if that was all. Maybe there were some boats there in the back after this. Ah, there are some still. We have Laila.
Have another close up of Will.
We can see the waves are really big, given there's no wind.
Yes.
Big swell here, and also some wind waves. So together, it's really tricky what to do. It's really hard to get the feeling because you never actually catch the wave properly. You only get like part of them. So how do you know if you gain or not? It's not so easy to feel. So you have to like use your logical mind to figure out what's best and not your feeling so much.
Or if you're racing for Canada, you can just look back.
Yeah, then you can just drink some water, eat a sandwich. So here we'll going into the final stretch here. Easy peasy for him. And we need to mention that everyone here has the same equipment. So it's not like normally where you can have different equipment that can give you an advantage.
Yeah.
Here, everyone, they have the same.
No modifications to the boats, same hull, same sail, same everything. And really, the sailors are not bringing their favorites into this one. And that makes it entirely equal for everyone. Was a newly developed sail for the R.O.C 2025 edition.
Yeah, and I think it will go on sale a little bit later as well. But first, these top 45 sailors will test the sail and give their opinion. But here we have an interesting rounding, I think. It's not much wind, but it will still be tight.
Yeah.
Margot barely in front, followed by Jason. Sorry, Papas. And then we have Yanis, Isan, and then Carl looking to somehow overtake them. Maybe he will go low. We'll see if he takes that risk. I think it's Georgios Canavas there. Joao. It's not so exciting for the sailors who are running now. There's nothing to gain or lose here at the end. But when it's a little bit tight, there's a lot to gain. We can try to go low, which is a risky deal, a risky plan to go low here and take the outer loop.
Yeah, we're actually seeing some maneuver for space. Ernst Akesson maybe earning a spot.
Yeah. So it's really tight now. Shreya Krishna coming in here on the inside, and it's going to be really tight. Think she will be clear of it. but after her it's gonna be really blobby. Rigs, it doesn't have mark room. We'll see what happens. Because when we have a one boat on the inner lane without mark room, that's when you get chaos.
I see loads of boats coming in now for the rounding.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what's gonna happen.
While we
Yeah,
have a victory lap for
yeah.
Canada.
I think he just
Coming in.
finished, maybe. And we are back now. We had some issues with the sound. Anyway, we can see here we had what we think a clear start, or at least not many boats over the line, and pin and favor.
Pin and favor, just like last race, yeah.
Yeah, but interestingly, the right shift that we got the last race happened earlier now, so the boats were opened right are now still in the race, while the boats who unfortunately were stuck in the middle are probably the worst. And we said that it was really important to keep your lane so that you can survive and don't lose these 5 to 10 meters early after the start. So we had
Still we see fairly, even though there will be those ahead clearly and those behind, this has the tendency to not, this is not, at the first leg, it doesn't get to be a spread out race, right?
yeah, and we have Italy 4 here, Alessandro Mengini. He was all the way at the boat to meet the side, and then he went right, and now he's on his way back to the middle. Meanwhile, we see
It looks like Papa's force and a little bit ahead of the ones furthest to the left, which is Italy, Sweden. I don't know which number of Italy, but it must be Ernst. We have Denmark there as well, so either Carl or Freya. But let's see what happens with the boats in the middle as well, right? It depends on how strong the left pin and favor will be at the end.
Yeah, and I think what's very interesting here is that for the boats now on the right side, it's pretty clear what you need to do. You need to go towards the middle and cash in while you can, because at the moment you have some pressure and also the angle.
Lara Hummel out furthest to the right.
Yeah, and the question is, if you're on the right, if you're on the left side, then it's a little bit trickier. Do you need to like try and work your way towards the middle, or do you just open big and take one big tack and then wait for the shift? I do think it's probably more work to actually stay and just take the risk.
So we see one
towards the middle.
tack in now, right?
Yeah, and I think many of these boats already tried to go in already. I don't.
Papas, Forsen, that were clearly out on the left.
They were even before this, they were trying to go in, and we can see that they're keeping to that strategy to try and go in. And I don't think it will pay off. Probably better to just open big from the beginning and then try and wait for something.
We have Noto, Scalpi, Åkesson still. Now they took their tack, the first tack, extreme on the left. Let's see what pays off.
Yeah, I think they actually tried earlier than this to cross, but couldn't. Anyway, we can still see that it wasn't enough. The boats more to middle are probably in the lead.
Yeah.
It's a bit interesting here. Some of the boats, we saw Alexander, Sweden won. He was in the same position last race as he is now, but then he chose to go even more left at this moment. But now I think he won't. He will probably try to cross in to play it safe.
Still, we're seeing the fleet from behind now. I think we need to see the line to be able to determine who's ahead and who's not.
We can see Real Kilty doing pretty good this race, but not fantastic. As last time, progress on boats gonna pop off from the right side. So Georgios Kuntus in the middle of the screen there, also doing quite okay.
Yeah, the ones out extreme on the left are more or less on ley line, so they will have a long journey in.
Yeah, I think
Looks like it would have been safer to be a bit more in the middle.
yeah, I
Let's
think
see.
they came back a little bit now, the left side at the end. So this race, we had the right shift coming in early, so early that it actually was enough time to go back left again. So we had pin in favor, and then it shifted a little bit right, and now it's going back a little bit left. We have Ines here in the middle, doing quite well. But every meter here is going to be super important. Attacking there on Brazil. I think it was UO. And we have Bastian Serrato. Just need a little shift here to make it okay. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very hard to do the starboard in here to the mark. It will just be boats coming and tacking on top of you, and then you have to go out again, and then it will repeat. It's probably worth the time to really plan here.
There's going to be a long queue in from the left here as well.
Yeah, for sure. But at the moment, the left still has the angle, so I think these right-sided boats are the ones who need to be most worried at the moment. It looks like we have an Italian leader this time. Can't see the number at the moment, but we have Brooks in second position. There's Alessandro Mengini. We saw him starting at the committee. So
yeah,
that's very interesting information. So he's doing great this race. Then we have Briggs, Alexander. So he was coming from the left, so you could actually survive both sides if you just played your cards correctly. Thomas Oliveira, Yao, it is. Nicolas Papas trying to squeeze in there, not sure if he has to take a penalty. Ines, Carl. It's very tight. You see Nicolas making
a penalty.
but you also need to keep clear while doing it, so we'll see there if there's another penalty or not. Very tight here. Really need to plan your attacks here so you're not in the way of anyone. Umpires working overtime. Alexander Shilos making a clear attack. Harder here for Freya. And extremely harder for Lilou. Also Isan here having to dog a lot of boats. Yeah, it's really tight here. Jaden squeezed here in between two boats, but he will probably be fine in the end. Still very light. You see when you're like in the blob, you have no wind. So boats just coming from behind and gaining many meters. Here we have people from the left. It feels like bad on the left was the worst.
Yes,
Race. Like bad on the right, you could survive, but bad on the left was just extremely bad.
And also you see many coming in having oversailed the ley line, so probably shifty conditions.
Yeah, and they probably have, because there were so many boats, I think they just had to, take more and more. We're approaching the gate here, and it feels like most sailors want to take the right gate here, trying to open the right side on the upwind. No changes here. Still Alessandro in the lead, followed by Briggs, and then Lilou. I think we might get some action around 10. It was quite spread out here in the top.
Yeah. But it looks like the favor is clearly on that rounding mark, in the gate.
Sean Bloom doing a good race so far, together with Manuel.
Well, now we have some action at the top gate as well.
Oh, yeah. So, interestingly, some people choose that one.
Puerto Rico and Alexander Forsen from Sweden.
Have to remember them so we can see later how it turned out. Laura rounding the mark.
Ines Mendes Armino was the Puerto Rican.
Duo.
Luciana
Margot here.
Margot.
Georgia. It's really hard to pronounce that. I would just say George maybe.
Jorge, I think.
And Nicholas. Another gate. Will now. Andrea de Murtas. Thomas Oliveira.
Still more crowded around this gate, right? Collisions and stuff.
The other gate is a little bit interesting. More people, you have to wait for your turn. People are filling in. Really hard now here. Tech 1P has a really hard line here. Having had to wait a long time and still on the outside and no wind. Tara waiting for a turn. She came in last, but I think she still gained a little bit because everyone else was held up. Now we have the blow on the other gate. Seems here that Algis is fine.
In this waves, they don't control the boat entirely, right? And no wind, so no speed at all to.
Very light still, but conditions are fine. I think these are very good conditions.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not too crazy, but a lot of things are happening, so you still need to use your brain, and you also need to be fast because you have waves. So it's a very demanding day. You see the sailors working with both the body and also some steering. And that's very interesting because now when everyone has a J sail, you have to work it a little bit differently compared to, especially if you have a CD sail. That's very different in its form. So I think some sailors have challenges how to work the boat.
Yeah.
Alessandro still doing great, but not clearly ahead. He is quite even now with Briggs. So we can see working good with the main sheet in every wave. All sailors have different styles. I usually give them some names that are really funny. don't need to mention them here, but different styles, so it's easy for the sailors to understand what style they're using and how different styles have an advantage and disadvantage.
Alessandro still being in position to control his first place.
Yeah, who's gonna win this duel? It looks like Alessandro has the advantage. Very interesting. Let's follow this duel and see if we can figure out what Briggs needs to do to win. So every time he attacks, Alexandros can just attack with him, but it's actually letting him go because there are some boats on the right side that the both of them missed, and it's going to be costly. I think they might even have lost here. We will see. Yeah, they dropped down. I think they lost the boat. Looks like it's Lilu who's overtaking them from the right side. No, it's Bastian. It's Bastian who did a great second upwind. And now we have three boats here fighting in the top. Seems like not much happened this second upwind. It's quite even. Small changes, local changes. So no side was clearly better than the other. Yeah, it's really tight. Think it's going to be Alessandro who takes this. Bastian's going to have to duck here. But if Alessandro can't fetch the mark, it's going to have issues. Unders. It was hard to say that. Oh, breaks coming for starboard. Definitely a penalty here. But the question is, will there be two penalties or one? Fourth call going in. Best situation for breaks would be two penalties. It seems like no penalties by the umpires, so no change of position. Manuel Braganza coming in here, in fifth position. There's a penalty there by the umpire. Probably Alessandro Mengini who's going to get a flag, but could be one more flag there in the top as well. Sean Kuhn, good job. Margot doing another great race. He is one of the few sailors who seem to be on for two consecutive good races. Ines there also in a very good position. So we can see the sailors are going a very straight line. No banana here, which is a sign of the high level of this fleet. But also, of course, the fleet is pretty spread out. So there's no need to go up. Carl trying to catch up. We can see here Alessandro had to spin, so he's not here anymore. In the top, he's probably in fourth position. Question here, will these boats start a fight or will they wait a bit until it's safe? If they start a fight early, there's a risk that they all drop so many boats that the next bunch of boats are coming in from behind. But it's very spread out. So I think most sailors will just keep it safe now. Not really worth the hassle. Nah. These are the top boats. Nothing has happened here on the reach so far. But it will be interesting to see here the next bunch of boats. They have Alexander Forsen calling the overlap there, forcing Nicholas to make his jibe. Jonas, Laura Hummel, Also a good race for her. From Francisco and Joao. We also saw Isan there, Spanish boat, in around 15.
So just we have the top 10 finishers of race one here. The full results will be published ongoing on regattaofchampions.com.
Yeah, so we recognize some of the names here in the top again. You can see Margot, 2 good races, as well as Carl and the UO as well. I think these are the ones who have 2 top 10 races so far. Sailors are going towards the. Let's see where they are. Are they already at the finish? No, is that the finish maybe? No,
I
it's
think
at
it
the.
is.
Okay, it's just a buoy maybe.
Uh,
No, it's a pin. It's the pin mark maybe.
and I continue to race. So
Bastian in the lead, doing great. So it's quite nice to be in the top here because everyone else has to fight for their lives and you can just take a little break.
cruise on.
That's what happens when you're at such a high level. So as soon as you get a little bit ahead of the rest, you're basically clear. we're back here for race 3.
Wind is still holding at roughly the same. It's shifting a bit more straight westerly or easterly.
Yeah, from the drone, it looks like the conditions are very similar.
Yeah.
But last time also, even though the conditions were similar, we were a little bit in different sync with the pressures and shifts. So we will see where we land now in this start.
It is forecasted to go down a bit over the day. So let's see how it develops, right? We could see some lighter wind soon, yeah.
Yeah, and from here, it looks like many sailors wants to be here on the right side.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they're a bit biased from last race or if they've actually seen something.
See, some of them are out testing.
Give you an added view here. We can see how the fleet is centered around the race course. No sailors really want to be at the boat end. You can see here some people decide to go in early, others wait outside the line. Not easy to say what's best. Probably a bit risky to be on the outside because drift is fairly low. Still no boats here that want to take the risk and go to the pin. That is very interesting. That's a first. Let's see if we can study a little bit more where the wind is coming from. It's a bit hard now when we only see one mark. But if we trust the sailors, it's for sure better to start here at the committee.
Oh, yes, this is a crowded start.
We also have AP up.
Okay.
So I think the race committee agreed with this.
I mean, the flags were flying, but to be frank, it looks a little bit lighter now, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think it's going up and down a little bit, 1 knots. Right now, it's no okay wind, I think. Same as before. So we'll come back to you in a few minutes when we have the next start.
So 5 minute signal just went, so that's the time roughly.
Now we're approaching start of the third race. We have U flag.
Better spread now than when we looked at it earlier. Maybe they corrected the start line a little bit, right? Because we see both pin and starters and committee starters.
Yeah, it looks like the line is quite even this time. We see some boats checking the line, doing some last minute tests. I think this will be the most interesting race so far. We're probably going to have boats on both sides doing really well.
Yeah, also the kids have tried out the different alternatives, maybe knowing a little bit more now than going into the first race.
For sure, for sure. But also the line is a little bit different every start, and
Yeah.
also the timing of the cycle. So we will see if there's a right shift or left shift. We were talking, you and me, so I have not had the chance to keep track of the wind lately. So we'll see if we first get a right or left shift. You can see here that even though it looks pretty tight, sometimes there are gaps on the line and you need to find these gaps in order to make it a little bit easy for yourself.
Uh, and there is a clear opportunity to go in here if you know the line right and find a spot. And we saw Manuel Braganza, I think he was in the first race, really aiming to get a head start, starting almost alone. But what happened instead was that he actually drew up the line from a banana shape to a fairly straight shape, and then you're not winning as much. Very straight line now. Let's see if they can keep their temper and cool and not cross the line before.
For sure, they're already over the line, some of them.
They're pulling each other up, right?
Yeah, that's going to be a restart.
For sure, I think, yeah.
To wait a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we'll be back again. And we're back. Another try here. Race 3. Looks like we're not having a banana this time. Or actually we have a banana, but the line side this time. We'll get the picture back in a minute. Hopefully a sec. Sailors are preparing for acceleration, trying to get the last little gap so that they can go low. There's an advantage to be in the middle. If you know that you're a little bit under, then you can accelerate earlier also. But the problem is if you don't realize this, being in a line sag will be pretty costly, especially here when you really need to get clear wind as soon as possible. Manuel Braganza trying to get the best committee start. Looking good for him. Not so sure that committee is good though, but we will see soon. Italy 7, Leandro accelerating early but not helping him, and we can see that the pin is massively winning. And it's even worse than the first race. They're all being completely rolled here.
Johnny Seekamp ahead of the pack in the middle.
But he's just the first of many, and probably he's also not that good.
Okay.
Compared to the left side, see this massive blob of boats, maybe 15 boats, and I think they're all ahead of Johnny at this time. But of course, sailing like Johnny is probably the right thing to do now. Wait for something to come back on the right side. So here we see Johnny. If he felt confident that he could tap now and cross, he would for sure do it. So that's a clear indication that he can't. You see Will Keelty there, together with the Swedish sailor Ernst Åkesson, doing great on the left side. Ernst is probably among the top boats. Also see Freya going more to the left, doing pretty well. But for sure, if you are in a good position on the left, it's probably better to make attack now and cash in as soon as possible. You can see Sweden 1, Alexander Forsen making the attack now before it's too late, trying to cross. And right now it looks like he's still able to cross, so he will be fine. Seems like we still have left pressure. I'm going to give you another view. So here's from the upwind mark, looking down, you can see that all boats are on port. Everyone wants to cash in while it's still possible to do so. Back on the right side, Manuel here. Lots of other boats. Briggs. Normally he is right here on the first shift, but this time it looks a bit harder for him. Together with teammate Dalton. So we can see that the right side, unless something magical happens, it's not looking good for them. Even more pressure coming in from the left. We can see on the water there's a little bit dark, a little bit more pressure there around the yellow buoy there. You can see that our wind is soon drop down on the sailors. from this view, we can see here on the left side of the screen, which is more like the middle of the fleet, that they are a little bit higher than the rest. So those are the boats who probably started more pin and then took the tack immediately. So here we are, think on the right side, because we saw Johnny earlier starting middle and then taking the tack towards the right, just waiting for better times. Still, we're focused on the right side at the moment. Leading boats are not to be seen in this image. Johnny here, fighting with Georgios Carnavas. Margot, who had 2 good races. Looks like she's more middle bottom in this one. Not bad, but not good either. Sean also had a good race last time, having some trouble this time. Really need to get that right shift now so you can survive. Think there's a little bit right coming here, so that was good for them. It might save them, but I don't think it will be enough, but it saves them from a complete disaster race. Here we have a better angle. You can see the left side now having some trouble because they just recently lost. So you can see it's in the middle that's doing great at the moment. So now here we have again the angle from the right side, and we can see there some boats like Johnny and also Bastian. Even though they're coming from the right, they decide to go out again, which is kind of an indication that it's not going their way. Manuel as well, but he was tacked upon, so it's natural that he made attack. Here we can see the boats that we think are in the top, coming down the right side of the screen. Now we can see them at the top of this triangle. Those are the middle boats, but also the left side boats are doing quite okay at the moment.
I think we had a gang that broke out to the left, right? I think the right gave and the left seems to be giving, and the middle slowed down a little bit, right? So it's a lot. You have to be at the right spot of the course.
Yeah, and if you're watching Meta Sail, it's a good way to see what's going on, but it's not always giving you the correct angles. Probably a little bit easier from the drone view to see what is going on. You can see here that the middle is doing quite okay, and I think, as Peter said, the left is coming back a little at the end. But we had like clear left and then went right, and now maybe a small left too. So here we are focused on the right side. Really hard to find some kind of lane to survive. Probably much nicer to have gone more left, and then you have the ability to pick your own lane. You can see here, right ley line is already full, left ley line still has some room, and also the middle has a lot of room. And now we see the meeting here, and we can see that winning boats are indeed from the middle, but the left caught up a little. But remember here that the left are actually not the ones who opened left, they are the ones who were a little bit worse and had to duck the guys who were leading after the start. Here we have some action going on, fighting for survival in the lane. It's really crucial when you take this tack so that you don't have to make additional tacks because people are attacking on top of you.
Here we have the rounding. We have Will rounding first, and we have Grease. Carl and Ernst fighting for the rounding, tightly followed by Margot. Followed by Bastian. And now it's getting tighter. A lot of traffic coming in now.
So here's the big question. If you feel that you're gonna take a high risk, it's better to just go in and try to round and then take any penalty you might get, or shall you duck everyone? It's hard to say what's best, but looks like most people here at least decided it's best to just go all in and hope for the best and take the penalty later.
So here we have the gate rounding already. They are choosing different roundings here. So interesting. We didn't see that first race. Here we have the Murtas rounding at the same time. As someone as I didn't quite catch the sailor up in the corner. Margot, Bastien, choosing the closest one. So we absolutely have a spread in this race, right? We saw Johnny Sekamp, Carl Birgersson rounding down there. We have Ernst Åkesson rounding down. This will be an interesting race.
For sure, for sure. This race is all up for grabs still. We can, I think, like, unless you want to be in the top three, anything is still possible, even if you're pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pick the right gate and look where there's wind and get the first right shift.
We'll probably see them starting to there we see first tacking, right? To secure and not lose potentially on the wrong side of the course then, yeah. But there are some gambling on both sides still, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and so important to not have to wait for other people. You really need to position yourself on the downwind so that don't have to wait.
Yeah, and if you're one of the first that is tacking in, you have more control over your own sailing and not being steered by the sailors around you. On the other hand, you will meet the other gate rounding guys that decided to do the same.
Jag vill sitta vid datorn.
While waiting for the other, this is the results of race 2 for the day. France at the top, followed by US and Denmark. We see a couple of them, as we talked about earlier, that have now multiple top 10s, which will be important. We have Carl there, we have Margot, Papas as well. But as we said, the results is up on the regattaofchampions.com website, yeah. Big spread of the fleet, as we talked about. Some are sailing almost on their own.
Yeah, it looked like the left is going strong. See that it's paying off quite well here for the leader. Can't really make out who it is, but I can see that Will took the other side and he has probably lost. Depending on what's happening now, he might lose the big group there on the left, but it looks like he's gonna barely make them, which will be fine for him in the end.
And I mean, that's what's going to happen if there was no upside to left or right, and they will meet roughly at the same time because they have roughly the same speed. So sometimes they split and then they come together in exactly the same positions.
See that right is coming back a little bit. The lead on the left lost quite a lot here at the end. Probably shouldn't have tacked and should have just taken the loss immediately to be a little bit safer. Still quite far to go. But for sure, the left side lost as a whole quite a lot the last few 30 seconds. So here we have some of the top sailors. They came from the right side and are now in the middle. So it's Andrea de Murtas and Will Kilty. Shall see if we can see some of them working their boats, but it's a little bit hard from this angle. That is clear though that they are being stopped by the wave, so really have to work. You can see that when they are failing, the boat stops quite a lot. Looks like Andreas a little bit faster at the moment, and from this angle it looks like they're doing quite okay, but I would also try and be a little bit safe. They have really high risk here. They're also on ley line, so they have to attack anyway. Probably not gonna overtake the leader there on the left side.
Have to balance fighting with each other and fighting with the rest of the fleet, yeah.
And here we can see another angle of the same situation. It's one boat on the left who is leading by quite a lot.
I think that's George Conto's race that we saw earlier in the rounding that we didn't quite catch the number on.
Yeah, and here we can see Will tacking back. Normally an indication that things were going a little bit worse than expected. So in the middle of the screen we have Andrea and Will. And on the left we have the Greek guy, Georgios Kuntos. You can see here that both Will and Andrea had to make the tack out again.
I think Andrea is going for the ley line now, so he can hopefully just finish right there, which they probably intended from the start, right?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's normally an indication that they had some kind of header because they were already tacking late and now they had to make one adjustment tack. Even so, it looks like it's gonna be second and third up. Here we have an overview of the fleet. You can see the right side is doing a little bit better. Very few coming up from the left, except here from the Greek sailor. So it is indeed George Kuntos leading, followed by Andrea de Mertes, who pulled a few meters on wheel. And now we've seen Will in the top in at least 2 races.
Yeah. Round in number 3. It's good. Consistent top 10s will be the ones who
and
become victorious in the end of the 2025 Regatta of Champions.
And here we have Bastian and Margot, and both of them also did good races earlier. So I think we have some of the top contenders here in this race.
On the C-Camp, who had a fantastic start in the middle. But
we also saw Carnavas there. Ines doing great this race. I think your second good race.
Tightly followed by Jorge from Mexico. And we have Carl Birgersson. Braganza.
Now finally,
Pappas, Åkesson, Lucena.
So we have some action going on here now. The left side is finally coming in. Need to squeeze the way in. It's a lot of ducking, or you have to take this risk attack. Jaden Stricken ducking everyone, finding a gap. Now Philippe Hutzler needs to do the same. Alessandro Mangini, I think he had a great last race, but now it's a little bit harder. Briggs, we normally see in the top, has some issues here in this race.
John Kam, also a top 10 finisher, 4.
Here we can see Tara having to make an adjustment tack. Probably the right decision, better than to wait and make the tack later. Just do it now
Clara,
to be completely safe.
Alexandros, Tara, and then followed by Francesco Colotto. Oh, this is heavy traffic. Coming in from the left, there is tricky stuff.
Diego probably wanting to sail with extreme high risk here to gain some boats on the downwind.
We see no changes so far. It's Kuntus in the lead, followed by Demurtas and Guilty.
Yeah, but it looks like Kilty really tried to cover the wind here from Alex de Murtas, but not
He's fast.
almost made it, but it looks like it's clear now.
It was age before quickness there, right?
And I think the next rounding here will be more interesting.
Very.
Bastion here from the left, coming in together with Margot.
Go in the middle. We have one that is clearly ahead, which we sadly can't see who it is now.
So maybe Carnavas.
Yeah.
Could be.
It's then Margot. No, that was Carnavas.
Yeah.
Johnny Seekamp, Ines.
Agis there and Carl at the end. And after Carl, we have another blob.
Led by Jorge.
Yeah, and we have
Munoz.
Manuel, Philippe. Oh, here's a very nice. 4 or 5 boats in a row. And it's looking good for Nicolas Papas with the inner lane, but you know, people are not always respecting the inner lane. That's the problem. We'll see now. There will definitely be some crash in this rounding. So, and some guys are so far outside they don't even have mark room anymore. So even if you wait, like Ernst here coming in, he has no mark room to anyone on the left at least. Same with Carl. Maybe even Yo had problems. Same thing for Shreya Krishna for sure. But people were really respecting each other here. But I'm pretty sure a lot of rules were broken. Anyway, not sure if there will be any flags.
Only Shreya respecting it.
It's quite often that people just respect the rule of whoever is first to the mark without actually thinking if they're inside the zone anymore.
No.
So half of that blow was outside that zone. Interesting here with Argentina 2, Francisco trying to go low. Very risky maneuver normally. Because in light wind you get so much covered wind that even though maybe you can go a little bit shorter distance, it's not worth it. And it looks like also he was last in that group.
So that's race 3 rounding off now. Plan is to do 5 races each day. Looking at the time, I think we're good on that.
Yeah,
We'll
for sure
probably make
it.
that. They also have the option to run an additional race per day, which will be interesting to see if they take today, right? Fairly good conditions. Yesterday we had not good conditions. Depends on the prognosis for tomorrow.
Yeah, the forecast is the same the whole week, but I think they won't do it because it's not gonna be, it's so early in the regatta. I don't see they will take that risk yet. I think that's all of them. So we will be right back with you guys for race 4.
So in the break here before race 4, we have a fantastic view of Limassol in the background, the arena for the R.O.C, the Regatta of Champions, where the 45 best sailors in the Optimist year duke out for chance at the top. This is the 4th edition of the Regatta of Champions. Fairly new concept introduced by Stelios, the head of the R.O.C organization. And we have been here at the Famagusta Club, the setting of, I think it was the 2018 World Championship in Optimists. It's a fantastic place. We had the joy of experiencing the inauguration opening ceremony yesterday, where we got to see the R.O.C Angels, a sight to be seen, all the sailors and the coaches and the parents together enjoying the opening ceremony. We're going to sail for 5 days with 5 races, as I mentioned earlier, as a target. And we'll be sending it live all of these days, so just hop in and we'll show you some good racing. We're in the second start go here. Third start, sorry. 4th start even.
Yeah, we're a bit sleepy here at the commentator booth. Had to get something to drink and eat here in the meantime. But we can now see that they have just started. Looks like we have some pin and favor again. Big surprise. It's very interesting though that sailors are still planning for that right side shift. So even when we have pin favor, they really want to go on the right to get that first shift. For now, it hasn't arrived yet, so we can see that the left side is doing clearly better. So far, no changes. It looks like the pressure is still going strong or equal on both sides. Left side, guys starting at the pin are still clearly ahead. So now you don't have so much choice. If you're on the right, just continue for port and wait for better times. And if they're not coming, you have some troubles. But all races so far, something happens sooner or later. So the worst thing that you can do now, based on experience, is to make the tack too early. Better to just continue port and just wait until you get the pressure or the shift. So, yeah. Now we can see some boats on the right finally making the attack towards the middle, but nothing has happened yet, so it's very bad at the moment. Probably we're gonna see that right shift sooner or later. Just hang tight here on the right side.
Scalpi and the Murtas fighting for the top here at the right side of the courts, together with Felipe Hutzler, Brazil. So we see the left side is strong as well, and some in the middle are now at the top of the line.
So we have a nice overview here. We can see the right side finally starting to gain back a little, but not enough, but enough to be back in the race in a somewhat okay position. Still gonna be the bottom 50% for sure. Yeah, come up. But it's very interesting though that if you start in the middle, you're still quite okay. Or if you start like middle pin and then try go to middle after that, even if you have more left, you will be fine. And if you're going right, you're doing great. So you can see here some boats coming from the middle for starboard. And even though it didn't go right that much, or not enough, they are still around 510-ish, which is a decent result given the quality of this fleet. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some kind of right pressure increasing slowly here at the end. We will see. These boats on the left side really need to cross as soon as possible to make sure that this right pressure doesn't happen, or that they are already in the middle when it happens. Here we have a flyover from the middle. We can see Papas in the middle. We have Argentina 2, Francisco, Swedish 2, Ernst on the left here, or middle. Sorry. Left side is doing better for sure, but there's still time for things to happen. Furthest to the left among the top sailors in this race, we have American. Can you see who it was? Isan, and a little bit in the back, Francesco. So here's another view from the top. Looks like some boats on starboard now, quite a lot in fact. So that indicates we have a right shift or right pressure. I don't think it's actually a shift. And the middle is doing quite all right. Might even overtake the left. Here we can see some nice angles we can only see with a drone. It's very beautiful to see the boat sailing like this. From a tactical point of view, you can see all the movements. Also, it's very easy to see the body movements and how to work with the sail. A bit harder though, of course, to track what's going on in the race. So we're gonna try and go back and forth between this view so that we can learn some technical parts of sailing and also some strategic sailing using the overview.
I also see on the forecast that seems to be holding up pretty steady at 7 knots and 90 degrees. So as you said, not very shifty, more pressure differences and steady wind so far today. Let's see who we have at the rounding.
Okay.
Will
Yeah, doing
sailing
great.
fast once again, tightly followed by Ernst.
Yeah, I almost forgot the name of his son.
No,
And
I was looking for myself there. I know my son, Frank John,
Yeah,
and Francisco Balbuena, both Argentinians, top 5. Very strong showing today.
yeah, it's very tight there. It's
Danis Jorgas
some really good
and Jorge
race.
Munoz, Mexico, having actually a good first run at the R.O.C, first representative of Mexico. We will walk you through the other countries as we move along here as well, right? Oh, now this is R.O.C. This is R.O.C at its finest, right? Very good sailors, all coming in at the same time. There is some challenges here for the sailors, as you can obviously see. Too tight to report. You have to follow your sailors yourself back home now.
Yeah, have this different views of the same chaos. No, it's really exciting here.
Really tough. And this shows how important it is to round at the top and sailing out of this mess kind of untouched. Planning your own race. There's not much planning going on in this bunch, Don, right?
No,
It's just survival.
I think when you have so many sailors coming in, it's almost impossible to plan and you just have to wing it. But of course, if you can plan a little bit, the last third of the upwind, but this last few meters, it's not so easy to do anything about it.
Also shows a little bit how even all of these sailors are to each other, right?
Exactly.
Because race after race, they come in together, yeah. And just a meter on the start or choosing the exact position where the pressure is will be the difference outside of your boat handling, of course.
if we just look on how they're placed now, I think we're going to have an interesting mark rounding a little bit later.
Hmm. I think they're already committing to different gates. If you look at the field now, right, they're splitting up left, right, planning for it, as you said. I did not see this having excellent sailing conditions the entire day at Famagusta Yacht Club. Looking at how it looked yesterday, it's a dramatic improvement. So we have maybe a bit of luck and maybe a bit of excellent planning on our side today here in Limassol.
Yeah, I mean, the venue here is great. Um, I came from Germany and you came from Sweden. I think it was
We like
very
it
cool
more.
here compared to here. And what do we have today? 28?
I think it was 26 when I looked it
26.
up this morning. It's probably holding, but yeah, 20 degrees more than back home, so I can't complain.
So yeah, here we can see the fleet, and it's almost as wide as it is long, which is very interesting. People are
Very
extremely spread
interesting.
out.
Jag gav honom lite. Here we're approaching the gates. So far, the first ones are choosing the right gate. Will Kilty going for place number 1, followed by Jonny Sekamp, Ernst Åkesson.
It's going to be a fight here between Francesco and the other boat that I didn't see who it was.
But we're also seeing some boats choosing the left mark here. So it's going to be the similar split in race 4 as we saw in race 3. Maybe more towards going to sail out on the left on the upwind.
Yeah, and we also can see the gate is very skewed, so the mark that will be on the left side of the upwind is clearly favored.
Yeah.
So you can save maybe 5-6 meters by taking that mark. Of course, it's not so easy to know that
No.
when you start the downwind.
I also saw a lot in the field. The field was wide and deep, and some of them sailed at the middle, and that puts you up at the possibility of making a late shift to the gate when you come closer and see the differences. Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see here some close-ups of Will. For sure the sailor with the most close-ups today now.
Yes.
Maybe because he's winning in the most.
Yeah, maybe aren't it?
Meanwhile, some sailors haven't even rounded the gate. So that's what happens when you have to wait. When you come down, everyone is just pushing each other further back. Here, some great technique. Steering the rudder in the wave. You need to go up and down the wave and also apply body work. Main sheet is also very important. So all these go in sync. And there are some different styles how to do this. But obviously this is one of the faster ones because we've seen Will in the top in many races today.
while they're rounding up here, we have the third race up on the homepage. Kuntus winning it. And I think they're already uploaded now, race 3 results in the meantime. See Will Kilty doing a rerun of his first race, having a safe sailing into his second bullet of the day. A little bit tighter after him. And the rest of the fleet is coming in for rounding. We have Alexander Forsén, Sweden, having sailed up a great bit, unchallenged number 2. Followed by, I think, the American Dalton Kellamere. Tight rounding now, as we saw in the previous race. Fighting for space. Argentina. Um, Thomas Morteo. Coming up soon for the start of the fifth race of the day. We're getting indications that there's consideration whether we go for even 6 races today, possibly due to having lovely conditions. Time is just 2 o'clock, 20 past 2. The dark is not in 3 hours. It will be dark, but we still have time. Maybe for 2 races if everything goes according to plan.
Yeah, I think for sure we have time. Question is, do we have wind?
Yeah,
That's the big question.
yeah.
And
The
it
forecast
feels
is
like it's already dropping a bit, a little bit
yeah.
lighter now than before.
Of course, they will not cram an extra race in if it's not optimal.
I think there might be an AP. It's really hard to make something out there on the starting vessel, but it looks like there's a red and white flag in the front. We will keep you updated as soon as we know more. So we can confirm that we have AP up, and it's probably because the wind dropped a bit and they're waiting for a little bit more stable conditions.
Let's wait a bit, but it looks like they are all going in, so maybe that is it for the day. We'll show you some finishing views here, but I think this is it, and we are signing off the stream for today. Thank you, everyone, joining in, watching the first day completed at the 2025 Regatta of Champions.